Hi folks, Martin Butler here again. Today we're going to be looking at the results of the Forever Flex soft papers that we printed in our last video, and we're going to see how they handled in a wash. And we're also going to be printing, using a laser printer, some of our own transfer papers using the Forever Flex soft transfer papers. So keep watching. Right, okay then, first of all, what we're going to do is just to have a look at the washability of the last transfer papers that you see me press in the previous video on these Forever Flex soft transfer papers. Now, as you know, I didn't prepare them ones. Those ones came prepared to me, and all we done was basically just heat press them using our heat press. So obviously we were wanted to see if the durability was there after washing. So let's have a look at the garments. This was the gold one I showed you before, and as you can probably see, there's no deterioration whatsoever in that. That looks actually very nice. Don't forget, these things we'll wear with the t-shirts as well by the looks of it. So that one's turned out all right. We've got these ones here, which we also showed. Again, we didn't print these ones. These came from the actual company. And again, this was the one with a small writing. And as you can probably see, everything there has gone through the wash absolutely perfectly. We put these on a cool wash, and that's what they recommend for these. Although, as you do know, this one here, which was the one that we actually pressed, they sent me some transfers, as you know, and we put this one initially through a hot wash, and I showed that in the last video. But this has now been through, again, another a cool wash, and that's the one we actually pressed there. And as you can see, there's no breaking up or cracking of the actual item whatsoever. So yeah, that looks very nice to me. No problems with that at all. And this final one was on some sort of lady's top. And as you can see, it's a stretchy garment one. And this was a silver type metallic. And as you can see, another nice reproduction that's not really damaged in the wash whatsoever. So quite happy with that. That looks nice. So again, yeah, these are designed to have sort of an oldie look to them anyway. So there we go. That's how they've handled in they're washed, and so far so good. I will continue to wash these, and I'll report back to you on our findings, obviously. So you can't really tell. That one, as you know, has had 2 washes. One of them was a hot wash. These have been through the washing machine once now, so they're going to go through it again and again and again. And that's the sort of information that I can bring to you without you having to go out and buy this sort of stuff. So what do you need to press these type of transfers? Now, normally, predominantly my business, as you probably know, is inkjet printer and vinyls. That's what I've used for the past 12 years. And this, to actually operate these sort of transfers is a totally different setup. Let me show you what I've got here. Now, as you can see on the table here, what I've got 2 Oki printers. These are A4 printers. These are the Oki C321DN printers. This one's a CMYK full colour printer. Let me show you the inside. So as you can see, inside there you've got the 4 toners. You've got your black, cyan, magenta and yellow. And then if we come over to this one, again exactly the same printer, but this one has got a this one's set up for a white toner. And this originally was for the Sun Angel system, which you can see down there. And I didn't really like the finish on them. I did have an experiment with them, but that didn't really work for me, so I didn't bring it to you at the end of the day. So, but we're now using these now in conjunction with the Forever Flex laser transfer papers. And all I've got there is my little laptop in the middle. We're only going to be using the CMYK printer at the moment, but I say you can use the white toner printer, but I haven't got the white toner papers because all we've got are the coloured foils, as you know. There is a different transfer paper where you can apply white toner, and it's a transparent looking paper, and then you can transfer white images, pure white images onto your garment. Your dark t-shirts, for example, but I haven't got that here. I'll try and get hold of some of that for you, and then we'll do some white transfers. But we're going to be using the coloured foils that they sent us, which, as I showed you in the last video, there are a whole stack of different tone colours there, which you can use. So we're going to be choosing one or two of these to have a little test print with using our laser printer. All you'll be printing on the back of these is in one colour, probably black for example. So when we create a silhouette type image or whatever in Adobe Photoshop or whatever printing software you have, when we send it to the printer, it will just be one solid colour, because it doesn't really matter, because we're only going to be seeing what the surface colour is of that, for example. So anyway, let's get going. So I'm going to set this up now. I'm going to find an image online, and we'll do a temporary mock-up. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to put the heat press on. So I'll see you in a minute. Right then, okay, what I've got here is obviously my laptop there. I've opened up Adobe Photoshop CS3, which is the program I use. And I'm just going to go to File and Open, and on my desktop I've got an image, a silhouette of Elvis. I found this on Google Images, by the way, so I'm not going to say that this is my image. Now again, we don't know what size that is, so as we're dealing with A4 transfer paper, what we need to do is to go to File and Open a new page, and this new page wants to be A4, and I've selected A4 there. Click OK. So as you can see now, that is an A4 page there. So I'm going to click on my image, click on the Move tool at the top there, and I'm just going to put the mouse over the page of the image, hold the left mouse button down and just drag it onto that page. And as you can see in reality how small that image is for an A4 page. So I'm just going to hold the Shift button on my keyboard down, hold my left mouse button down, and drag a diagonal box out, and as you can see the image tends to blur. This is a very small image, and then once I've got the image to the size I want on the A4 paper, I'm just going to click the little tick arrow, and it should, as you can see, sharpen back up again. Just going to move it to the top of the page because I want to put some writing underneath that. So I'm going to now shut this one down. We don't need that anymore. This is our A4 size paper that we're dealing with, and I'm going to hit the text tool down there and just click on the page and just type in the word Elvis there. Now it's very, very small and it's the wrong color, and I'm going to just change the color to black. Doesn't really matter what color this is, as I say, because we're using the foil. So I've just made it black, and there we go. Just tick the box, and that's our graphic. Let's just show you. That's the graphic we're going to be printing. Now I'm just going to go over to my layers section here, and I'm going to hold the Shift button down, and the writing is blue as you can see at the moment. I'm just going to click the other one and right click on both of them and merge layers. So they're both in one layer now. So if I move the actual image about, if I show you on the page, the writing and the Elvis moves together, as opposed from the Elvis being separate, the writing being separate. Right, so that's our image. I'm now going to go up to Image, Rotate Canvas, and Flip Canvas Horizontal, because we've got to mirror the image, and that's what we've done there. Right, this now is on our A4 sheet of paper. We've got our writing on there, we've got our silhouette on there. We're now ready to print. And as you know, from this whole range of Forever Flex soft transfer papers, we've got a whole range of colours there, different colours there, as you probably know. I've chosen the sort of metallic-y sort of blue one for this one, and this is the shiny side. This is the matte side we're going to print on. And with this hockey printer, all we do is just lay it in the tray, as you can see, and then click the blue button, and the blue button then brings the transfer paper up to the rollers there, as you can see. Now on this one, it doesn't come out the top here, it comes out the back. So if you look at the back of the printer there, you'll see that the back door is open. Our Oki color printer is selected, and I'm just going to press print. And let's see the Oki printer do its thing. One thing I will note here is that out of the box, it didn't want to touch these transfer papers. They wouldn't feed in for some reason. So I had a little play about with the settings, and what I come up with, you need to go into the printer preferences. Let me show you. When you click on the file icon there and then click the print icon. You'll get a page open up, and you want to go to where it says page setup, and then the advanced tab. When you click on the advanced tab, what I did, I changed the media type to heavy 105 to 120 GM squared, and I put a check paper in the multi-purpose tray. I turn that switch to on, and how you do that, you just click on the on, and you've got a toggle switch which says on or off there, and that's the alteration. I've tried a few different settings with different paper types, like glossy media for example. That didn't work, so just click OK there. It may struggle to go in, and you might have to give it a helping hand. I don't know why this is. Maybe they can tell me, the people who supply this transfer paper. So it's warming up now, as you can see, and it may start to want to go in. You see? Now I'm going to have to push it, look. There we go. I just had to give it extra feed in with my hand. And out the back it comes, as you can see. Let me take that over there. So we've got that graphic printed on the back of our shiny paper there, as you can see. So we're going to go over to the heat press now. We're going to preheat the press base. I've had to take the protective cover off the base. They recommend that. Now I'm going to heat the press up here. I've got it set at 160 degrees centigrade at the moment. Now, as you say, these are the sort of teething troubles that you can come along with printers and things like that, which I'm getting over. That's taken me about half an hour to sort that out. You haven't seen that in the video, but that could have been you wasting time. So I'm just preheating the rubber matting on the bottom, because that's what they say you have to do with this transfer paper. So that's nice and hot now. I'm going to get our transfer paper, I'm going to lay it face down in the centre of the press. And then I'm going to get one of these B sheet papers, lay it directly over the top, like that. And I'm just going to get the silicone sheet which they supply, or the parchment paper, and this is going to be pressed for 90 seconds. Close that down and let it do its work. Now this is a trial and error because it depends on your equipment, your materials or whatever, but they recommend the A to B foil temperature for the standard metallic papers should be for A4 90 seconds, between 130 and 135 degrees. I'm doing this at 160 degrees for the simple reason being I did try one before and it just didn't have enough to bring everything off cleanly. So we'll let that tick down for the 90 seconds, and you have to peel this hot. Do it on the planter, and that's the reason why you heat up the bottom plate as well, the rubber, because you want to peel it off low, at a low angle while it's still hot. And that is the glue attaching to the laser ink which we've just put on there. Okay, so let's just lift it up. I'm going to pull that out for a minute and take the cover off. And they say it's best to just give that a bit of a rub for 5 to 10 seconds over the top with just a bit of cloth. And don't forget, I'm not taking it off of this rubber because this rubber's still really hot. So there we go. And now all I've got to do is to find the edge, hold down and peel back low and slow. The glue, which it is, should be attached to our image. Let's show you. Okay, can you see? The glue is actually stuck to the image there. This was black before, as you remember. So now this is ready to press onto a t-shirt. I'm going to drop the time now down to 30 seconds. Okay, so we pre-pressed it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to apply a graphic. And we lay that where we need it to be. We're going to cover it with our parchment sheet. And I'm now going to press this, a bit more pressure there, for the 30 seconds. And this is at, I'm doing this at 160. They recommend here, for the actual press, for the main one, they recommend 135 to 155 for 30 seconds. I'm just taking it that little bit more, so the time's the same, but I'm just increasing the temperature a bit. Right, okay, we'll lift that off. Now I'm going to leave the transfer paper on there, and we've got to let this fully cool down. So I'm just going to take it off of there. Now that is nice and cool now. So what we should be doing now is pulling this off at a low angle. Now it's cold, and we should see it should come off nicely, so I'm told. Okay, there we go. And we've got to give this one more pre-press. So back over to the heat press, because it's very shiny at the moment. I don't know whether you can see that, very shiny. So you're supposed to take it back over. Right, so put it back on our press and apply this parchment paper on the top. And then you're supposed to shut it down and give it another 30 seconds. And this is supposed to take the shine off of it. So we'll find out whether that does work as well. And also it's supposed to really set the transfer into the garment itself. So this is a very necessary step for the washability of the garment. Here we go. And sure enough, it's right. As you can see, that's the garment. There's the transfer we've just put on it with the Forever Flex soft transfer papers. And as you can see, that shiny image is now gone, and it's more of a matte finish there. All I will say is one little possible issue there. I don't know what it is. The writing has got just a few little broken pieces around the writing there. Not too sure exactly why it is. The actual image has come out fantastic. So that's our first press of our own way of doing it. And we have got another transfer paper. We've actually got another one here, which is one they've produced for us. Again, it's on a gold type transfer paper. It's a Jack Daniels one, as you can probably see there. Lay the graphic on the garment, cover it up with our parchment paper, and this again is going to be a 30-second blast. Right, okay, so I'm just going to lift it off. Just put it over there to cool off like we did the other one. Always exciting trying out something new, but this is the time where you make mistakes. And if this is your first time and you get these mistakes, it's enough to send you saying, oh, I don't want to do that, that's too difficult. That's why I'm doing these now, just to show you I may see the mistakes, because a lot of these things that we go through, the timelines or the times that they give you are normal guidelines on the equipment that they've used. Your equipment might be different, as mine is different as well. So we just let that cool down, and I want you to see this because again, it's the first time with me. It's nice and cool now. Get the corner of it and pull it back low at an angle. There we go. So although it's come out okay, in places it's not come out, I don't think. Without me seeing the actual original print, I can't really say, but if we actually look at this one, which again is the one they've prepared for me, I didn't do this. This has come out absolutely perfectly with all these little dots on and stuff like that, as you can probably see there. And this one looks a bit slightly different. So at the moment, with the temperatures I've been using and the times I've been using, I might have to do a bit more experimentation with that. I'm going to put that to one side, that one. And I did print off another Elvis one on a slightly different colour. So we put that down there, put the B paper on top, and just cover that with our parchment sheet. And let's just try this one. I'm going to try a bit more pressure as well. See, all the time I'm trimming up with different things just to make sure that it's not worth doing it the same, because I've got a couple of issues there. I'm trying something slightly different, so I've just increased the pressure there. But that one, to be honest with you, that's come out well. That's come out really nice. This one, not too sure about, but that's with a lot of fine detail in it. I'll print on the back of this one they sent me, because again, this can go through the wash as well at the same time. So again, to fuse the glue, it's going to be a hot peel. We take that off, we give that a rub for 5 to 10 seconds, so they say. Just takes a little bit of heat out of it, I imagine. There we go, and then find the edge and peel back while it's on the deck. Oh, it's hot. There we go, so that's fine. That comes off all right. Now this t-shirt's got a little bit of dirt on it, so I can't really odds that. I've done it now, I've committed myself. So I'm going to put that lower down, this image. Put that over. Again, firmer pressure on this one. 30 seconds at 165 degrees. I'm hoping the extra temperature, as I say, compared to with what they suggest, just helps it that little bit more separate from the garment. There we go. Take that off. We'll pull that off. Lay it down there to cool. Again, got to be totally cold this, so do ensure that all the heat is gone out of it, which it has there. Here we go again. Yep, that's come off again. Put it back underneath, cover it up, and one final 30-second blast. Set it into the garment and also take the shiny edge off of it. There we go. Take it off. And yet again, we've reproduced another one, slightly different colour this one this time, and it's exactly the same. Although the writing again has got them broken edges and it shouldn't have. So I'm not quite sure what's happening there. The actual image itself has come out fine, as you can see. The definition on the image, as you can see, has turned out very nice. So I'm happy with that, but the writing for some reason is a little bit broken. And I'm not too sure why that is. Maybe we've got the experts there who produce this paper can enlighten me a little bit. So what have we learned today? We've learned that so far the washability of these transfers seems to be pretty good. They've only been through the wash once, mind you, but I mean obviously people have said they do crack after the first wash. That seems to be okay. In a real life example, I'm using the Oki 321DN laser printers here. They may or may not be the ideal printer for this application. We'll only know that after we possibly hear from the actual suppliers of these transfer papers to find out what works best. But even with the transfer papers that they supplied to us, as you can see, where is it? With the fine detail, that didn't turn out too well, in my opinion. But a more plainer image, as you can see there, that's turned out very good. So that may be depending on the equipment, I'm not too sure, we'll have to find that out. But again, these are the sort of things that you're going to have to find out as well. And also, the Oki printer wouldn't work on its standard settings, it wouldn't accept the paper. I had to change it to very heavy media and also help feed it in the actual multi-purpose tray. So that's one other thing that I've come up against as well. Call it teething problems. You may have come up against that and you might have given up, but that's what I'm here for. Anyway, I'm going to persevere with this. I'm going to speak to the manufacturers, see what they come up with and what they say, because if you can get this system working fine and you can produce complex detailed images like that or like that from your home and with a transfer paper, then that's going to be a very good system which we may include into our business depending on what the manufacturers tell us as to what they've seen in this video. Okay then, hope that was of some use to you, and we'll see you again in the next video, and until then, bye for now.